दुनिया से ये सुकून
Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Today's quite a special episode. We have a brother with us who's quite brave. Obviously, you can see he's got a balaclava on. That's to conceal his identity and his family life. And also, he's specifically put it on so that he can talk freely and not pull any punches. And really, this is an uncensored episode whereby he's going to talk about his personal experiences. Today's topic is about women or mothers when they separate, whether it's through divorce or they part ways, usually acrimoniously, they tend to weaponize children, or those that do weaponize children. And this brother's been in at the receiving end of being a father that had to go through so much trauma, and I'll leave it to him to explain. But today's episode is going to be about weaponizing children and why women do it, and his personal story. And then thereafter, there will be a part 2 to this. Part 2 will be about the damages and the ramifications it has to society at general. But today we're purely going to focus about this brother's story. Quickly, if you just introduce yourself, brother.
So yeah, I'm just me, just a normal guy from London, originating from North London. Other than that, to be honest, bro, I'm just a normal guy, man. Just in London, just doing my thing like everyone else.
Thanks, brother. I'm going to address you as brother just to
That's fine,
preserve
That's fine.
or conceal your name. I want to thank my main sponsor, Ahyaan Estates. If you're looking to rent out your properties, reach out to them. They're credible. They cover London and they do guarantee rents. Also,
Catering.
if you want a Mendy party, a banquet, anything of that kind, reach out to them. Their food is great. Right, let's crack on. So, you were married?
Yeah.
Once upon a time?
Yeah.
And the stage is yours.
Yeah, so obviously, as you've mentioned, we're trying to talk a little bit about, this issue that's going on in society right now. Unfortunately, it's becoming very common. I mean, the statistics about marriage breakdown and all of that stuff, and, that's happening all over the place right now. So it's unfortunate, but it's reality. But what we want to touch upon, as you've said, really and truly, is the damage, the collateral damage in between all of that is the child or the children that are in question. A child or children, they don't choose to be in that situation. Like a lot of us, you get married, sometimes it works, other times it doesn't work. But again, the child is faultless, right? I'm sure we
The
can all agree
invisible
on that.
victim.
Invisible victim. So, upon your request, I'm here today.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So yeah, just to get into my story. So pretty standard from the beginning in the sense that, got married, pretty standard. I'm from a Bangladeshi background, so that might give you some
Customs and norms.
yeah, customs and context to that. Got married. Pretty much from when I got married, this is a while back now, things were difficult. Things were difficult for various reasons. I've got a certain mindset mentality. She's got a certain mindset mentality. It is what it is. And there was constant problems from day one. There was constant problems. And again, obviously, everyone's got the viewpoint, right? I'm not here to sort of, moan about a woman as per se. Yeah, or kind of am, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was troublesome, whatever, blah, 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 etc. And then it came to a point where things were really, really bad. And then, she's gone back to her mum's house now. Yeah. So this is where this whole story comes in now. So from time she's gone back, again, just to give you a bit of context, this woman, she's from a very traditional, typical Bengali family, as am I. And as you know, being Bengali yourself, when you get married, you give importance to the family background. And, on a sort of side topic, I never used to understand this when we were young. Because I used to think to myself, well, you find someone, you get married and life goes on, you make a life with that person. But having become older and having obviously attained a lot of life experience, you realize that family background actually does matter, bro. It really, really does matter. And this is what goes on to affect everything else that comes on.
Just to decipher that, when you mean family background, and it's a custom and tradition in our culture that when you look for a spouse, we look at lineage, we look at behavioral patterns, so to speak, of that family and their lineage and their heritage, and then upon that information, we then make a decision. Well, you wouldn't make a decision because you're loved up, but your family would consider that as a fact of whether they would allow you to go and marry this particular person.
Yeah, and I think one of the issues that we have is, especially most of us, we get married when we're quite young, right? Generally speaking, where in my time, people generally tend to get married in the sort of early mid-20s, right? And as much as we like to think we know it all at that age, the reality is we don't. And sometimes what happens is you get advice given by your parents, and especially from our community, if I may say so, bro, yeah? We look at our parents and we think, first generation immigrants, what do they know? See what I'm saying? They work in a restaurant or whatever the case may be. But in hindsight, you look at it and you think, bro, you know what? They've got something that we haven't got, which is a life experience. And that's something that we ought to give value to, bro. And sometimes you learn too late. So anyway, obviously, she's gone, like I said, she's gone back to her mum's house, whatever, all of that politics is going on. I tried to keep it amicable. Like, it wasn't, the breakup wasn't one of them ones where two people are fighting and, all of that. Now, I like to think, look, I'm a calm individual. I like to think that I'm a thinker. I think things through before I do it. So it's one of them ones where, it was pretty calm at the point of separation, yeah? So after that, obviously, we had one daughter together. At that time, my daughter was 3 going on 4. Regardless of the status of the marriage, whether it worked out or it didn't, I'm sure we can all agree that when you have a child or children, the most important thing in your life as a father or a mother is that child or those children. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, cool. You may have parted ways or whatever the case may be, but you need to keep some level of amicability for that child's best interest. I mean, I don't know if you're a parent yourself. Anyone who's a parent will know that when you have a child, when you have children, they are, or rather they become the most important thing in your life. Everything you do with them in mind, for their benefit, for their development, etc., etc., etc. Now, so obviously upon sort of that separation at that time. So did
you at the time get divorced, or was it just a separation?
At that time, it was just a separation. Yeah.
So estranged from wife and husband.
Yeah, one of them was. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of politics going on in the background between families and whatever, as is the case in Bengali communities and cultures and whatnot. So my concern at that time was obviously my daughter. So I've now reached out to her and I've said, look, I want to pick up my daughter. And my daughter's 3 going on 4 at that time. I want to pick up my daughter. Just want to take her out. Just take her to the park, take her McD's, wherever the case may be, get a bit of food and then drop her back. Now, the mother's being very obstructive. The mother's weaponizing the child and basically, again, forgive me for slight, maybe small errors in what I'm saying, because obviously this was a while back now, so I'm going to say it from the best of my memory. The mother's basically saying, look, you need to sort this situation out between you and I before you can see your child. So I'm sitting there thinking, hold on, wherever my status with you is or your status is with me is, that's completely independent to the child. It's my child just as it's your child. It's not, exactly. So there was a bit of tussle with that. Again, cutting a long story short, it got to a point where she kind of said, okay, I say they, and this is another important point that we'll make in this podcast and going on even to the second point. I say they because she was obviously heavily backed by her family members, She's got a father, got a mother, brother, sisters, whatever, the whole shebang. So a decision was made from their side where you can only come and see your daughter if it's in the house, as in her house. And she's living with her parents at this time.
And this moment in time, you're not divorced?
No, we're not divorced at this moment in time.
Okay, so the judicial system hasn't come into play?
No, none of that's come into play yet. This is just separation at that point. So I wasn't too keen on that because the bottom line is if I've got issues with you and I'm simply requesting for me to spend some time with my child, who I'm very close to, who I've got a very solid relationship with, why am I going to come and see that child in your home? It's going to cause a massive discomfort. Do you see what I mean? It's going to cause...
Before you go on, I've got 2 questions for you, quick, and I think the audience are screaming this out anyway. When you separated, right, it could have been for arguments. Were there any domestic violence involved?
So she claimed there was.
Okay.
But in reality, I can tell you, hand on my heart, there wasn't.
There's no domestic violence?
There was no domestic violence.
So at the point where she and her family decided that you can only see your daughter, which you've lived with and, built a bond with, that they decide when you can see your daughter.
Basically.
But there was, at this moment in time, there was no domestic violence. There was
nothing like that.
Nothing. Did you cheat?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
So you didn't do any of the heinous things that men may do.
So look, I'm glad you mentioned that because
Yeah.
we're going to come on to this point as well. Look, we're all human beings, right?
Right.
When you've got a daughter as a father, I've got a daughter now, and one day I'm going to get my daughter married, yeah?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. If that guy has done any of those heinous crimes that you've mentioned, then yeah, I can understand there's tension between both parties. Or when there's a safeguarding issue or a safety issue with the child, and I've heard 101 stories like that, bro, yeah? I can understand. In this case, there was none of that.
So up until that point, there was none of that. It's just you
None
didn't
of
get on
that.
with your ex-wife.
Not even up until that point, even to this day.
Okay, right.
None of that ever existed.
Right.
See what I mean?
Yep.
So that's what that goes even more to sort of, emphasize on that point. Why are you obstructing me from seeing my child? Whatever issue I've got with you or you've got with me, that's completely independent to the child. So anyway, moving on, they've kind of said, well, you can only see the child when the child is, or if you come to the house. And I wasn't too keen on that for obvious reason. In the end, bro, look, you have to kind of weigh things up in life and, weigh up the pros and the cons and make a decision based on what is best for that child. So I thought to myself, you know what? Swallow my pride, swallow the ego, do what's best for my child.
Did your family not get involved at this time? Because her family's involved.
So at this point in time, her mother and father, her father only, no, I think her mother and father, they went away to Hajj.
Right.
So she's at home with her sisters and brother and whatever else, yeah? She's got an older brother, whatever, fine. My parents are at home. So there isn't too much involvement yet from my family because obviously things are fresh, right? Things are problematic. And as you know from our culture, once you start talking, there's no going back. So you're kind of trying to stay out of it until you need to kind of step in. So anyway, they said to me that obviously come see the kid at the house, yeah? I wasn't too keen on that. In the meantime, based on what you've just asked, in the background, her parents have come back from Hajj. Again, there may be a bit of distortion in terms of the timing, of course, as you can understand, it's been a while. My father, as a father would, has contacted her father. Contacted her father in a respectful manner, as a respectful man should do. And, if anyone knows my father, they'll know he's a very respectful man, very respected and respectful man. He's basically speaking to, her father at this time and saying, brother, let's sit down. Let's sit down, let's talk about this. Let's come to some sort of conclusion regarding this. Whatever the case, whether we go right, whether we go left, let's sit down and let's solve it. And that's what I think would be promoted by people of any walk of life. It doesn't matter what creed, color, religion you're from, what country you're from.
Your elders intervene when they need
Elders
to.
intervene.
Yeah.
So her father is, very hyper emotional at this time. And obviously I can say, look, again, I don't believe he's a outright bad person, but I believe he's someone that's very weak. And he takes a lot from the women folk in his family. Whereas the reality should be, you're the man, you're the father. There's certain responsibilities that you have as a man, as a Muslim, as a father, as a wali, as a grandfather, as a father-in-law. You've got responsibilities, bro. Yeah? You should be stepping in to promote that which is good, enjoin good and forbid the evil, right? So he's obviously hyper emotional. He's talking mumble jumble to my dad. Oh, your son this, your son that, your son this, your son that. The point we're trying to push is, what's that got to do with the kid? Right? So he and they are now, like I said, which is the topic of the podcast, is weaponizing that child, trying to use the child as leverage to attain whatever it is that they're trying to attain. Whether it's reconciliation, whether it's divorce, whatever it may be. Yeah? So my father's in contact with him and he's getting nuts over the phone, basically, bro, yeah? Anyway, so that's all going on in the background now. Anyway, so I thought, you know what? If this is the only way to see my child, so be it. I'm going to see my child, innit? So I've gone there now. So obviously where I live and where they live, it's about half an hour drive, I'd say. Yeah. With traffic, it could be up to an hour. Bearing in mind, she's calling all the shots. Her and her family calling all the shots. Come at this time. This location, this time, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I go, fine, cool. Bro, them times, obviously, I'm driving through traffic. It's taking me an hour to get there. I've knocked on the door. They've let me in. You kind of go in through the door, you turn right, and there's a living room, yeah? I'm in the living room with my daughter. My daughter's happy to see me. 15 minutes will go by. Maximum, I would say 20 minutes. And then there's this intentional sort of discomfort created, yeah? oh, she's got to go to sleep now. Oh, this. Oh, this. Basically, that's my cues to like do one, innit? Yeah, I don't want to swear, but you can imagine what was going to come out of
As
my
a
mouth.
3 turning 4-year-old daughter, she's not a baby anymore. She's a toddler.
She's not a baby.
She's picking up that I'm seeing dad less and less.
Mm.
Mum and dad are not living together. I mean, did you pick up on that?
Of course, man.
Did she comment?
Bro, you know, kids, I'm telling you, with kids, yeah, we don't give them enough credit, bro. They are so much smarter than the credit that we give them. Yeah. But anyway, obviously, you try to, limit that damage to the best of your ability, especially as a father. Like I said, everything you do, you try to do with her best interest at heart. Yeah. So I would see her, they would make it very uncomfortable.
Was this once a week?
I don't recall exactly, but I'll try to go like say twice a week, that kind of thing. Yeah. So they'll open the door. It's very awkward, as expected. I've gone in, seen my child. Then, they kind of drop little cues. I would leave. So I'd leave. So that went on for a little while, couple months, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or a month, 2 months, 6 weeks, something along those lines. Moving forward a bit now, I've gone in one day, I've knocked on the door. Her brother's opened the door. So her brother is older than her. I'm trying to refrain myself from
Swearing.
bro, a lot of things, yeah? He's opened the door, grown-ass man, yeah? Say, mid-30s at that time, I would say, yeah? Grown-ass man, yeah? He opens the door and he says, yeah, what? So I gave him salam. I said, bro, I'm here to see so-and-so, name my child. He goes, nah, she's not well today. She's not feeling well. Something. So I've obviously stayed calm, even though he's obviously violating right now, yeah? I said to him something to the effect of, bro, look, I'm not here to disrespect anyone. I'm here to see my child. I've been told that the only way I'll see my child is by coming to this property. Hence why I'm here. Now you're telling me she's not well. That makes me want to see her even more. So I'm here to see my child. That's it. Bro, he's now turned into flipping 50 Cent, bro.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm
Yeah, no,
laughing.
he's turned into top gangster, yeah? Top North London gangster, yeah? I don't remember the exact words, obviously. Sign, whatever. So he's trying to get me to leave. So I'm saying to him, bro, listen, I'm not going anywhere until I see my daughter. Now you've told me she's not well, even more of a concern. I want to see her. I'm going to see her and then I'm going to leave. He's jumping up and down like crazy frog, yeah?
So you haven't entered the house yet?
I haven't entered the house. I'm outside the house. His mother, yeah? So his mother now, my child's grandmother. Bro, this is what I say. There's an English saying in it, never judge a book by its cover. There's another one, wolves in sheep's clothing. This is a woman who I was a son-in-law to. This is a woman who was always full of praise. Oh, my son-in-law's amazing. My son-in-law this, my son-in-law that. Credit where it's credit's due, bro. I'll go around, they'll cook, plenty of food, they'll gift you, the hospitality, amazing, right? So I was a part of that family. This is a woman who used to say, I've only given birth to one son, but Allah has granted me 3 sons, referring to her one son, referring to me as a son-in-law, and referring to her other son-in-law. So you can see the sweetness in her tongue, yeah? This is a woman who, when I would sit with her, would always, bro, look, I'm just an ordinary guy, yeah? We all sin, we all do wrong, but we're Muslim.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Whatever reason, should always kind of bring up the topic of Islam and should ask me these questions, whatever. And I'll answer to the best of my ability, whatever little I may know, yeah? This is a woman who, again, from our cultural background, is the daughter of a very pious man, very religious man. Not that I've ever met him. Allah yarhamu, he's passed away. I'd never got the chance to meet him. But I've only ever heard good things about him. He was a very religious, pious man from the area we're from in Bangladesh. So you'd expect the apple to not fall too far from the tree, yeah? You'd expect standards and etiquettes and understanding. When this thing's now going on at the door where her son, the uncle of my daughter, is jumping up and down like crazy frog, violating me, restricting me from seeing my own child, what's she doing, bro? She is hiding, literally standing. Like I said, you're going through the front door and on the right-hand side is the living room, maybe 3-4 feet away, she's standing behind the door. So as this guy is jumping up and down, doing whatever he's doing, I've kind of got pissed off now, bro. I'm not going to lie to you, as anyone would. I'm sure, I've watched your other podcasts, you've talked about masculinity and whatever. We're all human beings, bro. We all have feelings and emotions or whatever. I'm seeing this guy, grown-ass man, jumping up and down like, I don't know, he wants to smash the wall and God knows what else he wants to do. I'm thinking, all right, cool. So I've said 1, 2 things now. So I don't know what he's trying to insinuate. He wants to fight or whatever the case is. So I've said to him, I go, bro, listen, if you want to go on like that, don't do it inside your house. Come outside, innit? I'm out here, come outside. Suddenly you see his mum that I've just mentioned now come to the door and she's pulling him back. Etc., etc., etc. So he's not coming out. Bro, it's like a Bollywood scene, yeah? So I'm just standing there, bro, calm, waiting for him to come outside now. He's holding his mum's face, saying, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Bro, it's like some Bollywood thing going on, bro. What the hell is this?
I can picture it.
Bro, the maddest thing is, this is what I find funny about life, bro. You're in the wrong, yet you act like you're the victim. Like you're the martyr in this situation or something. Anyway, he's come outside now, jumping up and down, hands in trousers, bad boy. Hands in trousers, spitting here, spitting there.
How old is he?
Bro, mid-30s at that time, I would say.
He's
grown
behaving
man.
like that.
Grown man, working professional, grown man. Yeah? Whatever. He thinks he's a bit of a bad man, whatever, fine. Spitting here, spitting there, I go to him, brother, calm down. Even then, after his violation, bro, I'm trying to give him respect. I said to him, I go, bro, listen, you're my brother-in-law. In fact, you're my older brother-in-law. Yeah? Even if you was to slap me, bro, there should be an element of respect between me and you where I still look down at the ground because I've got respect for you as an elder. Nah, bruv, that. Afterwards, calm down, yeah? So I've explained to the brother now, I go, look, bro, I get it. You're upset, you're frustrated, you're angry based on whatever your sister may have told you. But understand there's 2 sides to a story. When it comes to righteousness, when it comes to what's right and wrong, it's clear. Blood doesn't come into it, bro, yeah? If my brother's done something wrong against you, if he's wrong, he's wrong. It doesn't matter, he's my brother, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling him whatever. So he's calmed down now. I've given him that prep talk, whatever, he's calmed down now. So I'm like, listen, do this. Come see me anytime, any place, anywhere. Let's sit down, let's talk like men. Let's talk like men, yeah? Well, family at the end of the day. Let's talk like men. Hear my side of the story. Afterwards, you do what you want to do. All right, cool, bro. Cool. I'm going to do that. But you know what? I'm going to record it though. I'm like, okay, that's fine, bro. Record it, do whatever you want. No problem, fine. After this, Tamasha, he's basically, anyway, I've been allowed in. His mum's come to the door. Now she's saying, oh, you guys are making a scene outside. Obviously now she's thinking, right, because obviously it's a heavily populated Bengali area, yeah? She's thinking people are going to catch wind of what's going on. They've let me in. I've gone in. I've seen my daughter for a little bit, whatever, in the living room. Whatever. On the way out, I shook his hand. I said, cool, we've agreed to meet. Let me know, bro. Any place, anytime, anywhere. We'll sit down and talk. This is not about going on like a bad man, bro. It's about being respectful. Yeah. And as men, we need to be respectful, right? Brother, that was 7 years ago? To this day, I'm still yet to hear from to this day. I'm still yet to hear from him.
So he agreed to meet with you and he didn't?
And he didn't, yeah.
So your dad tried to reconcile or mediate with his father and he got hyper emotional.
Yep.
And this guy got theatrical and then still hasn't met.
And anyway, his shenanigans, there's another episode of his shenanigans. We'll obviously come to that anyway, yeah? So now, obviously, that issue happened. Fine, cool. I've gone home, whatever, fine. I think if my memory serves me right, a couple weeks went by. As usual, I've gone to the house now. Winter time, I think it was like November, December time, so it gets dark early. Bro, I've knocked on the door. No answer. I'm seeing the lights on. I'm seeing people move around. They're not answering the door.
And you haven't initiated divorce by this time?
No. That's all going on in the background, yeah? Leave all of that, yeah? Leave all of that. Let's focus on the kid now, yeah? So I've gone there now. Again, winter time, like I said, night time, I've knocked on the door. And bearing in mind, I'm only following the instructions that they've set. So I'm being respectful. Do you know what I'm saying?
So they've asked you to come?
They've asked
and
me,
now they're playing games.
Come and see your kid, but only in the house. You can't take the kid out, yeah?
Right.
I'm like, cool. So I've gone there now one evening, November, December time, winter time, it gets dark early. I've knocked on the door. Like I said, no one's opening the door. Lights on, I see people moving around, wherever, no one's opening the door. But I'm like, nah, bro, there's people at home. Like, man's just traveled 2 hours through traffic, yeah, to see my daughter based on the instructions that you've given me. So I'm going to see my daughter, yeah? So today I'm going to go in and I'm going to go in and see my daughter now, yeah? No answer. I've messaged, obviously, the mother of my child. I've messaged the brother, I've messaged the sisters, I've called the house phone. So I've contacted all of them. WhatsApp, double blue ticks, they're just airing, man.
While standing in front of the door.
While standing basically just outside the house, basically, yeah? They're just completely blanking me. They're not on letting me in today, yeah? Even though some peace was made after the shenanigans in the last visit, and this is, like I said, key thing here, I'm working on their instructions now, yeah? Whatever, they've not opened the door. So I'm pissed off, bro, now, yeah? I'm fuming now. Whatever, fine, I've gone back, I've sat in my car, chilling. I thought, cool, give them time. It's a school night, bro. This is like 7, 8 o'clock. Even if, hypothetically speaking, even if they're out, they're going to come home at some point. So I've made a 2-hour trip here, so I might as well wait it out for another half an hour. Bro, I sat there for a while, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I sat there for a good hour or so, probably a little bit longer. Sitting there just reading my Quran, doing my thing, thinking let them come. A lot of time went by. One of my boys called me. He's like, what are you saying? I'm like, this and this is the situation. So he's obviously like, bro, listen, what's wrong with you? Ban all of that. Just come link me. We'll chill, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, you know what? I waited for a while. They're not going to open the door. Let me leave. I've left now, yeah? I've driven to the top of the road. Check this now. I've driven to the top of the road. I'm not a superstitious guy, bro, yeah? But I don't know what, something came into my heart. Some sort of gut instinct came into my heart. I thought, you know what, bro? I've driven 2 hours here. I've waited all this time. I might as well wait out a little bit longer, yeah? Forget my friend. This is more important right now. So what I've done now, I've circled the block, literally a block. I've come back and I've parked up outside the house again. But due to the parking restrictions and whatnot, I've parked maybe a little bit further away from the front door. So I'm not in the direct view. If that's the front, if the house is here, if the front door's here, I'm parked over there. As I'm parked there, bro, lo and behold, I see bare of our relatives come outside the house, yeah, and jump in the car and zoop off. Point being, they were home the whole time. The whole time they were home. So obviously now I know what time of day it is. These lot are going on like that. They're not on being amicable. Bearing in mind, like I said, going back to the other thing, in the background, my father's contacting her father. He's making excuses. We just came back from Hajj, we're ill. The time after that, we've had a death in the family, so we're grieving. The time after that, some other excuse. The time after that, some other excuse. He's not on it. He's waiting for instructions to come from headquarters, as in the women of the household, yeah, to decide what's to be done. So what it is, the women make the decisions. He's put forward as a puppet, yeah, to show the world that actually he's in charge, but in reality, he's not, unfortunately. And bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You know, in society, again, this is a side point. In society, people love to blame women. People love to blame. It's always a woman's fault. But I say, bro, if a man is a real man, women wouldn't be an issue. As a man, both culturally, Islamically, even logically, you should lead your home. Where you have a household where it's not led by a man, it's very unlikely that household's going to have any success in terms of human interactions and many other things. So anyway, where was I? So all of that's going on in the background, yeah? He's not having it. He don't want to sit down.
So at the time you saw the cousins or relatives come out and drive off with their cars, did you stay then, or were you?
I'm obviously pissed now, bro, because I'm feeling even more violated. I'm thinking, raw. Like, imagine, I've broken bread with these people. I've sat in this house. I'm married to a man's daughter, bro. Yeah? I've come to your home. You've come to my home. Like, this is a union in marriage. And this is the thing, like, you know, in this day and age, people take marriage lightly. Marriage is not a joke, bro. No. Like, you know, Brother Lace and all these other sort of people that you've had on the show, they've talked about this. It's a very important matter. It needs to be given, importance, right? So I'm obviously pissed having seen this family come out, whatever, and they've gone or whatever.
Did you storm the door then, or?
No, I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything because I thought, you know what, bro, look, I'm the type of person, yeah, before I do something, I think about the pros and cons. I'm not about making drama. I'm about my business. I'm about my work. I'm about my family. I'm about my people. I'm about just cracking on, getting on with things with as less drama as possible, with as less headache as possible, and trying not to aggravate people. We try to do good by people, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen this now. Obviously, I'm fuming. Bear it in mind, yeah? This is another little side point, and hopefully they see this and they know I know, yeah? While I'm there, I see next man, some random guy, yeah? Standing like about 30, 40 yards behind me, yeah? Some middle-aged guy standing there having a little fag, watching me the whole time. So they've obviously called someone, told him whatever they've told him, so he's standing there watching. So I'm not really bothered by it. I'm like, okay, cool. What are you going to do? You mind your business, I mind mine, yeah? Anyway, I've seen the family come out now. I've driven off now. I thought, boom, okay, we know where this is going now. Cool. I've left. Obviously, in between, there's communication. You know, you're annoyed, whatever, there's communication between myself and the mother of my child, whatever, blah, 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 all of that's going on. Whatever, I'm trying to advise them. You know, I'm trying to tell them that, look, this is looking like it's only going to go to court. I don't want to institutionalize my daughter, yeah? I don't want to go down that road. What's the harm in being amicable? Just be amicable. There's no loss for me, there's no loss for you. In fact, it's beneficial for the both of us, and most importantly, it's beneficial for the child. The child, bro, needs the mother and the father.
Your children.
Yeah. Any man out there that thinks that they can take the children and, you know, push away the mum, he's loony, bro. Likewise, any woman who thinks that, yeah, I can take the child or the children and just get rid of the man, they're not right, bro. They're not right in their head. They don't understand the importance, what's needed for that child. So obviously all these communications going on, I'm advising her, advising them, whatever, you know, it's just all falling on deaf ears. In the end, cut a long story short, again, out of respect, bro, you know, look, we're Bengali, we're Muslim, we've got, you know, when you're from a decent family, and I'd like to think that I'm from a decent family, you get raised with certain standards, you know, certain etiquettes. Like I said, I didn't want to go down the court route. So what I've done now, I've contacted one of her close relatives, the mother of my child, one of her close relatives, and I said, look, this and this is going on. Me and my family, we're not the type of people to go to court. Yeah? We're not the type of people to take our issues to a legal court system. We should be able to sit down around the table and resolve the matter, whatever the issue may be. So that individual has told me, look, the family in question, the mother of your child and the family, they've not really told me too much. If they haven't told me, then obviously I can't really do much. Yeah? So I said, look, I'm seeking your permission to go to court. I don't want to do this off my own back. If you give me the green light, that's what I'm going to do. And she said to me, or that person said to me, if that's the only way that you're going to see your child, then obviously you've got no other option.
At this moment in time, and forgive me, I've been petulant, I've asked you, at this moment in time, have you divorced her?
No.
You still haven't divorced her?
No. Because this is all in a short space of time that I'm telling you, yeah?
Right.
Let's leave the divorce thing out of it, yeah? Because I want to focus on the child,
Sure.
yeah? So anyway, with all this going on, like I said, there's back and forth, a lot of communication, whatever, blah, 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 etc. Yeah. I've now obviously got no option. I've sought a bit of advice from a couple of people within the profession or whatever. And they said, look, mate, the only way you're going to see your child, this isn't a village in Bangladesh, you know, where you can rock up with whatever. Yeah. The only way you're going to see your child is by going to court. I said, cool. I've obviously communicated that to them that, look, this is the only option that I've got. I don't want to do this. Let's be amicable, but they're just completely ignoring me now, yeah? So anyone who's familiar with the family court system, you have to go through mediation first. Yeah, it's a thing called a MIAM form or something like that, MIAM. So I've contacted this local mediation center, gone there, explained the situation. What the mediation center do then is then contact the mother and encourage her and advise her to come in. So what she's done now, she's completely blanked them. Yeah? Because you have to understand, bro, you know, in these situations, like women that go on like this, the power is in their hands. The child is with them, so they're not losing nothing. Or at least they think they're not losing anything, right? And their sole goal is to make you suffer. That's all it is. Yeah? Culture goes out the window, religion goes out the window, family background etiquettes go out the window. Yeah? And then they're supported by, obviously,
just to make you suffer.
Just to make you suffer. And obviously you got like the honchos around, you know, supporting her in whatever she's doing. So she didn't turn up to mediation. Then it's gone to court now. So I'm obviously fast forwarding a little bit. It's gone to court now. Went to the first hearing, bro, went to court. And anyone, again, like I said, anyone that's familiar with that system will know that when you go to court, you have to put in a personal statement. In this personal statement, all I've said was, look, I was with this woman for X amount of years. I'm no longer with this woman. We're not residing together. We're separated, whatever the case may be. I'm not here to slate anyone. This is all documented, by the way, yeah? In case you think that I'm only pushing my agenda, yeah? I'm not here to slate anyone. I've got a daughter. I love my daughter. I've got a solid relationship with her. There's no reason for me to not see my daughter. I just want to see my daughter. Doesn't matter where, when, how much. I just want to see my baby girl. That's it. This woman who I was married to, bro, imagine, yeah, has come to court. Bearing in mind, bro, I got no solicitors, nothing, no legal representation, nothing.
So you represented yourself.
I'm representing myself, bro. I got nothing to hide. I'm not trying to spin nothing. I'm not trying to lie. I'm not trying to do anything mad, right? I'm just trying to see my daughter. That's my concern. That's my only concern. She's come now with obviously her lawyers and solicitors and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And what happens is they've walked in, bruv, they've got like security with them, yeah? As in like, not security, but the people that are on site and the whatever, yeah? And you know, they're moving around as if they're in grave danger. Bro, I told you, I'm just an ordinary guy from North London. They're giving me credit like I'm Tony Montana, bro. Sorry, bro, I shouldn't be swearing, yeah?
Fine.
But they're going on like I'm like Tony Montana or some Pablo Escobar or something, yeah? Hiding whatever, they've gone, you know, they've been put into a room, whatever, and then one of the solicitors or whatever come give me the document. Bro, in this document, yeah, I'm telling you, in life, you keep learning, innit? Imagine you're married to someone. You have your good times, you have your bad times, you have your ups, you have your downs. But surely the fact that you've been married to that person should have an element of default respect. Bearing in mind you've got a mutual interest as in a child or children, whatever, yeah? In this document now, and again, I'm collectively talking about all documents that have come forward, she's now accused me of, she's insinuated that I'm an Islamic extremist.
Wow.
She's insinuated.
Didn't expect that. Islamic extremist.
Bro. She's insinuated that I'm an Islamic extremist. She's insinuated that I'm a pedophile. Pedophile?
Whoa.
Pedophile. If memory serves me right, bullying, domestic violence, the whole works. The whole works. When I saw this document, bro, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Someone could do something to harm you, but you know, everyone has limitations, innit?
This is evil.
I would never have thought that. I would
yeah.
never have thought that person would go that far. Do you see what I mean? If you get into an issue with another guy from the area, for example, you know his limitations. You might punch him up, he might punch you up. You're never gonna think he's gonna come and stick a flipping zombie knife in your stomach, bro. People have limitations, right? I'm shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was one of those moments in life where I'm like, wow, like this is what people can do. Anyway, in the court system, so they're basically, whatever the hearing's taking place, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyone that knows the family court system will know that what happens is, you know, in the initial stages, they can only advise. They can't order anything, yeah? Bearing in mind, she's got solicitors, she's got whatever. Obviously, she's done her homework. She knows what buttons to press and what to do, yeah? They've advised her that, look, she's ignoring all the advice about me seeing the child. They've said that let him speak to his child on video. She's saying, no, this is a security risk, yeah? All of that stuff. So they basically said to her, look, this guy, he's from a decent area. He's from a decent family. He ain't got no criminal record. He's not known to police. He's not known to social services. He's got no stain on his name. How is it now that suddenly after the breakdown in your marriage, yeah, after the breakdown in your marriage, and that too after you've stopped him from seeing the child, how has he now become the worst person in the world?
Wow. This is the courts.
Yeah.
Can I just
Go on.
And I don't want to relish in your shock, but I think it's worth noting, particularly for my audience, for those that are going through a rough patch in their marriage, or they have broken up and kids are involved. And I've heard the level of deceit, and I've heard about what one is accusing the other of.
It's crazy,
is
bro.
incredulous.
It's crazy.
I'm thinking, hang on, you shared a bed together. You broke food together. You called each other's mum and dad. And so I want to delve into what it is that she was accusing you of: Islamic extremism, the domestic violence, and maybe 2 or 3 other points. Because if you don't name and shame them, if any other women or man, respectively, gets funny ideas and says, you know what, I've got something up my sleeve, and because things have gone south now, I'm going to say X, Y, and Z, without any ramifications, they may think otherwise. So in terms of Islamic extremism, what was the accusation?
It was just basically he's an extremist.
Okay.
So at that time in my life, I would say I was quite a conservative individual in terms of like from an Islamic perspective. You know, like I think most people are.
That's
if
not
you're
illegal.
Muslim, that you're quite, it's not illegal, right?
No.
So she's obviously trying to pick on that, yeah? So obviously myself, being of Bangladeshi origin, spent some time in the Middle East, given my obvious name, given my obvious appearance, Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It fits the bill. You know that
She plays to the
I'm the
stereotype.
guy that you would see, you know, supposedly that fits the bill to be on front of the Daily Mail, being accused of stupidity. Yeah, which we don't condone, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's obviously thought about this and obviously got a lot of consultants around her to say this is how we burn him to the ground. Yeah. But what gets me is like, wow, like you said, we've broken bread together. Like, how do you get to this point where you're going to that level? Now, I've heard a lot of cases, bearing in mind, after I've gone through all of this, yeah, like I'm saying from start to end, what's happened is because I've dealt with everything myself, I've learned a lot, what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. So my number started going around, yeah? So and so will be like, oh, you know what, talk to this brother, he's got some experience in this. And my number started getting around, so I started receiving calls now. I'm getting calls like every sort of once every 2 weeks, once every month.
For what?
So some guy will call me and be like, oh, for example, Ollie gave me your number. He said, you've gone through X, Y, Z. Can you help me?
Oh, with regards to these
With
matters.
regards to the family court system and
I do
whatnot.
I do wanna hold fire there. We're gonna end this episode here now, and we're gonna continue. So you've listened to half of this brother's story, and it's only going to get more gruesome. And this is the reality. So tune into the next episode where we're going to learn a bit more about the story and how it unfolded. And also we're going to learn about the lessons and the ramifications that these issues, and essentially it destroys lives. So tune into the next episode where this brother will continue his story, and we will discuss why it is that we do it and how we can stop doing it going forward, because ultimately it's the children that suffer. So thank you very much for watching.